welcome back to Bold Life. Have you all started shopping for fall yet? I was so annoyed because it just got so cold so fast. I almost thought it was Christmas time. Like, I was like, ho, 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 you know? I can barely keep up with what day it is already. So I was really I was lost. But we have a great show for you. Make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below. We want to know what you think. September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. I'm personally a big advocate of mental health and being the best you that you can be. Now, remember, suicidal thoughts don't discriminate, so anyone who is capable of having any dark thoughts, it's possible. So always keep in mind that the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is always available at 1-800-273-TALK. To take even more preventative precautions, you can always see someone who specializes in talking to people. Therapy is easily accessible even if your insurance doesn't cover it. Some therapists work on a sliding scale, as well as some do some pro bono work. There is this notion that you should only go to therapy if you are crazy or depressed, and none of that is true. Everyone needs to talk to someone, no matter who you are. I talk to my therapist about everything that I feel that I can't talk to my friends or my family about, and it's a great feeling to talk to someone without a bias and can really help you. You know, there are so many options out there. Just please always remember to put you and your happiness first. Make sure every day you're choosing to be the best you and working towards the best you that you can be. Speaking of putting your happiness first, our first guests have a new YouTube show that has kept smiles and happiness throughout families during our time at home. Please welcome BP, Major, and Melissa Gisoni. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hey,
Awesome. So, let's talk about your show. BP, what originally inspired you to create this show?
Well, it sort of started very small. You know, it started with me just spending some time with Gia and helping her with her singing and trying to sort of, coach her into the entertainment industry. And then I had an idea. Maybe, we could turn this into a bit of a show, because I was realizing there was so much fun content with the getting ready stuff, like the rehearsal stuff was so exciting. So we just started shooting absolutely every single rehearsal. And then Melissa got involved from day one. And Melissa came on board and we started shooting all different celebrity friends popping in and meeting Gia. And then all of a sudden it turns into a show, and then COVID hit. So we're like, you know what, let's just start posting this on YouTube and see if people enjoy it as much as we do. And it's sort of started from there.
I'm glad that you decided to start it. You've had such a great outcome so far. Now, Melissa, I wanted to ask you, how do you think that you feel that being on Dance Moms has contributed to your reoccurring appearances on the show?
Well, I feel that just as a mom, I'm literally a mom when I go on the show, because every time I see the girls, I hug them, I kiss them, I fix their hair. Like if they're doing a music video, I fix their outfits. I give them a little bit of encouragement here and there. Well, that's basically what I do. Is I really like to encourage them, because we're kind of like the good cop, bad cop. BP's hard on them, but a good hard. And then I'm really soft on them.
Awesome. And you think that's correct, BP?
I think that's absolutely correct. And the thing that makes me laugh, because I know Melissa was still on Dance Moms. I mean, that show plays around the world till this day. My nieces watch her every day. And I'm always so happy when Melissa shows up all the time for Major Minors. Like, there's never a moment when she's not there. And I'm always so grateful for her time. But then I look over at her and I'm like, oh, she really loves every second of this. I do. It's like, this isn't a favor. She belongs there. She loves helping the moms. She's helping with the lunches. She's fixing the wardrobe. She's helping with hair. And the kids just love her. I mean, I love having Melissa around. I think we're a good team.
It's kind of my element. Oh, we're such a good team. It's just my element, and I just love it. And I just want more kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask, what do you hope that audiences at home gain by watching your show? Like, what impact do you want to have?
Well, I want them to feel...
Sorry,
go ahead. You go, B. Sorry.
No, you go. Ladies first.
Ladies first. Go ahead, Melissa.
Well, I want kids to see that you can do anything, whether, you don't have to be a perfect singer or a great dancer. You can do anything and achieve your goals. Just try. And BP is really good at encouraging and teaching, and I think that's encouraging kids right now is really, really important.
And how about you, BP?
Yeah, I would second everything Melissa said. The whole point really for me is because I grew up in entertainment. I started work when I was 9, and it was very hard. Like, we went to work. And I want kids to understand that you can do anything that you want to achieve in life. So, and that could be anything. So I don't want just the best singers or the best dancers or the best actors. Like, Melissa and I had a global talent search in season 1 where we asked kids from all around the world to just send us what makes them special. And I think there's something special inside of all of us. And I just want the show to inspire kids to see, oh yeah, like, maybe I just love arts and crafts and that's what makes me special and I'm going to have a career in that. So we just want to inspire kids to be the best they can be in whatever they choose to do. It's all good.
And that's amazing. I love that. Well, everybody at home, make sure you go and watch Major Minors on YouTube. And thank you, both of us, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Such a pleasure.
Up next is our On the Watch segment brought to you by Petos. Petos is the world's first junk food snack made from peas. They put taste first and contains no artificial ingredients with 2 times the protein and 3 times the fiber. It's the superior choice to its corn-based counterparts. Petos is available in 5 bold flavors and is sold in 4,700 locations. Find Petos online at www.petos.com, Amazon, and Super Stop and Shops. You can now send your best back-to-school skit on their TikTok challenge at Petos brand, and they'll ship you a taste kit to your home to snack while you watch your favorite movies and shows. This man is an amazing filmmaker who is already breaking barriers. Please welcome Cassius Corrigan. How are you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Cassius, could you tell us about your new film, Huracán? Did I say that right?
Almost. Huracán.
Huracán. Almost there. Huracán. Let's talk about it.
So the film is a psychological thriller about an aspiring mixed martial arts fighter who suffers from multiple personality disorder. So on the one side, it's a thought-provoking deep dive into severe mental illness. And on the other side features authentic and visceral MMA fight action. And all of that is set in the real Miami, Little Haiti, Pequeño Havana, Overtown, neighborhoods that you've never seen on screen before.
I absolutely love that. And when I was reading up on the movie, I thought it was very interesting because the movie itself is very interesting because the illness of the main character has, and that makes it interesting as it is. And then it also is the first feature film to showcase EMDR, which is a form of psychotherapy used to treat dissociative identity disorder, which is what the main character has. And I wanted to know why you specifically chose to highlight this.
Thank you so much for asking about that, because that is one of the ways that we hoped Huracán, if we did a great job on it and executed at a high level, would have an impact. And as I was writing the script, my dad, who's a judge in Miami-Dade Circuit Court, was in juvenile court, family court. And in family court, every claim of child abuse, child abandonment, or child neglect comes through that courthouse. And often, tragically, these kids, who come through the system are saddled with mental illness as a result from the trauma they endured in whatever the situation was that they were living through. And working very closely with that courthouse, it's called Mental Health Court, the Prison Diversion Program, and specifically the court-appointed therapist, Judy Pasos, she's the one who introduced me to EMDR. She's treating people like Alonso daily, and Alonso being the protagonist of the film. And she told me, look, this is a pioneering form of therapy that we have found on our side, on the therapist side, is by far the most effective for DID, for trauma resolution in general. So she said, if you could feature this in the movie, it would be huge for us. And as she introduced me to it and put me personally through that form of therapy, I saw it's also incredibly cinematic and incredibly interesting.
That is interesting. Now, what other research did you have to do for this role?
Well, thankfully, I had already been obsessed and a fanatic of mixed martial arts. So I had already been training for a while. The training really ramped up, especially knowing that you're going to be on screen shirtless. That's a great motivation to just get in peak physical condition. So there was a huge challenge for me in terms of prepping for this movie, because as the writer, director, producer, there's everything on the filmmaking side in terms of putting the team together, location scouting, etc., creatively prepping as a director. And then on the other side, from the acting component, there was both the immersion in, the prison diversion program, like I was telling you. There was the martial arts preparation, and it was just finding a way to balance the two so that both worked and neither failed, because if one of those components didn't end up working, the movie wouldn't have succeeded.
Right. And it's just, honestly, hats off to you, because you really wore so many hats for this film. And I found your story so interesting because it's a huge deal as a man of a Latino background to get your directorial debut film picked up by HBO. Like, how does that feel for you?
It's amazing. It's amazing for me as someone, I grew up in Miami with a Colombian abuela and a Cuban tío, and Miami is such a Latina ciudad. Like, there's so much Hispanic culture in Miami. And when I first started in filmmaking, I saw that there was this huge disconnect between the Latino culture that we have here, the fact that the United States is almost 20% Latino, and the lack of representation in film and TV, or just the utter misrepresentation. Almost every story you're going to see in film and TV is about narcos or is about illegal border crossers. And when HBO came to us and approached us with their interest in our movie, one of the main things they said to me was, "We love your film and we think it deserves to be on HBO because it presents a Latino story in a different way. It's not narcos. It's not crossing the border illegally. It's interesting. It's thought-provoking. It has active and strong Latina characters," which, like, that's almost impossible to find. And it's sad to say, but we're thrilled, obviously, that HBO is putting their money where their mouth is, supporting myself, supporting our movie, and giving the opportunity to so many of the talented Latino filmmakers and actors on screen, behind the camera, to have their work get this kind of visibility and this kind of prestige. So
I love it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm really big on representation because, like you said, we don't see this side of the Latino community. Like you said, we see narcos, we see border crossing, we see, even for Latino women, we see, different types of stereotypes. We don't see something
Devious
that's...
maids.
Yeah, or, like in Orange is the New Black, they were bodega workers and stuff like that. It's just, we don't get to see enough of real people doing real things. So I absolutely commend you for creating this movie. Now, this movie was released on September 11th on HBO Max and HBO. So what feedback have you gotten so far?
People are really enjoying the movie, thankfully. We made sure to make it clear at the outset that this was not the typical Rocky type movie. We were going for something realer, something more grounded. This is a thriller, you know what I mean? This is a deep dive into abnormal psychology, all of the mystery and the complexity of it. And people are finding that journey into dissociative identity disorder, all the layers of it, to be fascinating and to ring emotionally true, which was one of my, most important objectives coming into the movie, was to do justice to that side of it. And then thankfully, our MMA fight action is fucking amazing. That I knew that was going to be the case coming in, because I didn't bring in a stunt coordinator. We just said, let's fight and let's film it. And I know that will work because I watch MMA and I train in MMA, and it works every single time there. So there's no reason it shouldn't work in the movie. And we're getting rewarded for that big time.
Well, I'm looking forward to whatever you have coming up, because I already know, Cassius, that you're going to be big, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm excited to see what your future has to hold for you. And everybody at home, make sure you go ahead and watch Huracán. Did I say that right?
Perfectly.
Huracán on HBO and HBO Max. Thank you, Cassius, for joining us.
Zayna, thank you.
It's Fashion Week season, and our next guest is a fashion designer born in Miami, then moved to Atlanta, then moved to Milwaukee, and has taken all of his experiences with them and put them all into his fashion brand. Please welcome Macho Jacques. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. All the way from Appleton, Wisconsin right now.
Goodness gracious. I don't even know. What's it like in Wisconsin? Who does this?
You know what? I just came from a hotter climate, and I'm gonna have to say that right now, this weather beats down south anytime.
Oh, I might have to come up to Wisconsin then if that's the case. Well, Macho, please tell us a little bit about Morati.
Well, Morati started probably about 15, 16 months ago. And our basic idea behind it was we trying to get people to create bold art statement through their designs. Me having a background in art, when I was first starting off, what I wanted to do is use my creativity and basically give other artists an opportunity, more graphic designers, an opportunity to really show my piece that I'm actually creating and actually put it on a digital form to get us to actually create bold and colorful designs of what you see in the background.
Well, we love bold and colorful designs here at Bold TV. So
Nice.
tell me, what do you think makes your clothing line unique?
I think mine's is a little different because we're speaking upon the gods and the goddesses, right? I feel that we all have the god-like energy inside of us. The difference is we've been brought up to really think about the kings and the queen. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is, there's a way to where we can elevate people's taste through making a statement, through something that other people won't have, and it actually makes you feel good with the superior quality we have.
Awesome, awesome. Now, what was your inspiration behind the brand? I know you talked about it a little bit, but what originally inspired you to be like, hey, you know what, I want to start this?
The biggest motivation was we all need clothes, and as long as people are being born, there's always going to be a new trendsetter that can oversee trends before it even happened. And right now, I realize that, especially with a lot of the stylists that I do know, they kept basically saying, hey, you know what, why don't you start creating your own designs? I mean, what you wear already be sick. Why not have other people style just like you? So I said, you know what, started off on a scratch piece of paper and made it turn into a reality.
I love that. I absolutely love all of this. Now, where can people find Morati?
Right now, they can actually go to Morati World. That's Morati World, WORLD.com. They can also find me on Instagram at Morati World, where you're definitely going to see our last collection. And I also want to make sure that I'm always presenting, some of our customers with new concepts and new ideas of what we're basically creating for the future.
Well, I'm absolutely looking forward to all that Morati has in store in the future and to see Morati grow and expand. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, and you guys have a great day around the world.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yes. Of course, I couldn't bring up Fashion Week without actually talking about New York Fashion Week. Bold TV correspondent Justin Crawford was on the scene for this new post-pandemic Fashion Week series. Check it out.
All right, we told you guys we were going to get inside here to see what Miss Rebecca Minkoff has done for the FW20 collection she just launched. And you know what? I think looking at New York Fashion Week, we were standing outside. Everything looks so different, Rebecca, and it's incredible that you were able to put this on during such a time. So I want to ask you first and foremost, what went into it? What are some of your thoughts now that it's out on the beautiful Spring Place rooftop today?
It was a Herculean effort, and obviously safety was first.
Yep.
Anyone standing here has been through a COVID test, where the thing goes to your brain. We're both negative, hence.
I know. Well,
so
thank God,
hence
right?
We can stand together without masks. But it was really about figuring out and reimagining what is Fashion Week like, how many people can you have, what is the capacity, all these, puzzle pieces, if you will, like the largest puzzle piece I've ever been dealt with, to make this come to life. But I'm so happy we did it. I'm happy people got paid from this, people got jobs from this. Our community needs this. So if we have the wherewithal to do it, we need to.
And I think that's something we're all trying to keep in mind too, that silver lining purpose, right? And especially in fashion. I know a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people were laid off and furloughed. And that we saw just a ripple effect of all the negative things that came out of COVID. So especially with your team particularly, how were you kind of able to overcome any of the negative boundaries that came with COVID-19 and the pandemic?
So we unfortunately shrunk by about 70% with our business, and our team shrunk by half. And I vowed I'm not going to lose any more team members. And so we all doubled down, and we have worked harder than I've ever worked in 15 years in business to make sure, A, I didn't lose any more people, and B, that as a business, I put my life into this and I needed it to survive.
And this is why you're Rebecca Minkoff, and we love you for that too. So, Rebecca, when you think about the future of fashion now, I mean, do you think that we're all going to have to incorporate some fashion of this, fashion, right? But is this kind of what it's going to look like going forward? Do you have any predictions, and if so, what are those?
I mean, I think that I'm hoping that everyone's going to get this. Herd immunity will happen eventually. We have our mask necklaces. We got our mask.
Which perfectly matches your outfit. Can we please talk about the fact that you were able to design these? So
in 2 weeks, you'll be able to order them from our site. So, how great is that? But, let's establish herd immunity and then get back to work.
As you would have to, and I think it's all about adaptation and patience at this point too. So when you think of those two words going forward with the team that you guys have doubled down, you've shrunken in size, but I'm sure you're mighty too. And you think about the Rebecca Minkoff team going forward, do you hope to then just kind of take that team and do whatever you guys can possibly do to make sense of the world we're living in?
I want to hire back everyone I had to let go of. They were my family. And so that means we have to grow. And I feel so incredibly grateful to my customer because our business is up. She has nowhere to go with a handbag, but she's buying them, and so I'm truly indebted to her.
Rebecca, I got one more question about the collection itself, right? Bob, if you'll get a quick look around us here. So just behind Rebecca, I mean, this is the same print design we're looking at the outfits over here. So when you think about the favorite outfit that you've pieced together for this particular collection, what would it be and why is it your favorite? Besides the one you're wearing, you look gorgeous today too.
So I think my favorites are if you pan that way. My little rock band that I got going on. I love the velvet with the lame sequins paired back in a more casual way with a sweater or a faux shearling jacket. I just think it's fun.
Well, you're fun, and we're so happy that you were able to invite us back. It's been a year. We were talking about it last time, right? We were sitting in director's chairs, and you weren't as tall, but here we are again, and it's so good to see you. Congratulations, and I do hope you build the team back up. And you know what? We're going to keep doing what we have to, right, to move forward in this industry together.
Yes, we're survivors.
That's the end of today's show. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. Get our Amazon Fire TV app. Watch us on IG Live. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Stay safe and stay tuned for more Bold Life in 2 weeks. See you guys.